welcome. It is yet another very exciting episode of the show Unplug that is brought to you exclusively by every NG. Thank you so much for joining us today. Of course, we're ready to serve you with all the latest updates on entertainment, politics, the world of sports, everything going on in the world around us. Every is here to give it to you on Unplug. My name is Victor, and it's a pleasure to be here as always. Now, big story for the day. Schools were supposed to have resumed by now, but there has been this whole back and forth here and there that has been going on. Students have still not, gotten the express go ahead to go back to school. But now the federal government has come out to say something quite interesting about this particular situation at the moment. Now you want to stick around to find out what that is. But before we get to that, let's take some entertainment news. And of course, there is one update or two from the BB Niger house. And we'll be starting with Nengi, who surprised a lot of fans yesterday when she came out on social media with an engagement ring, a picture of an engagement ring. And it got a lot of tongues wagging and people asking questions. Really? Is Nengi engaged? Well, it was not just her now. There was a second picture of a popular Instagram and social media comedian, Sydney Talker, who appeared to be taking a picture of Nengi's hand, of Nengi, while he was holding her ring hand, or the hand on which she was wearing the ring, whatever. But a lot of people have been asking questions. Sydney Talker, Nengi, what is going on? Could Sydney just be, recording his kids, or is he? What exactly is going on? That question is what we're waiting for answers for, and maybe we're going to get answers from Nengi or from Sydney. But we're still waiting for the answers to that one, okay? Now let's move on from Nengi. Let's talk Tacha. Tacha has suddenly become a relationship expert. I don't know, these celebrities, it's like they feel sometimes they can just switch from one thing to another. One day they are motivational speaker, another day they are relationship experts. The next day they are just your everyday person on social media posting fine pictures here and there. But anyways, Tacha has come out with a word for the women. And she's saying women have to become smart, that these days when it comes to broke women, no man wants a broke woman. The men have become smart, that they're not going for broke ladies anymore. So apparently the ladies have to step up their game financially and hustle for themselves, make money, become rich, so that you can also command a level of respect or whatever from rich, financially stable men. So it's not like a man is financially stable and he uses that to oppress you. A word from Tacha is enough for the wise titans, so to speak, right? Anyways, away from Tacha now, let's talk Omah Lay. You remember what happened with Omah Lay and Thames some time ago when they were in Uganda, coincidentally, for a concert, and they got arrested. They said they violated COVID-19 protocol, and they were there for days. By the time they get their freedom and came back to Nigeria, Thames went on this very long rant on social media how she was going to deal with the person who she felt was responsible for them being humiliated and embarrassed that way in Uganda. UG, whatever his name, baby, cool UG. Well, Omah Lay has been quiet all along, but he just came out yesterday and said that, well, he doesn't exactly regret his Ugandan experience. And in what I found very surprising, to say the least, he said he would like to visit Uganda again. Now, Thames definitely did not sound that way when she ranted about what happened during their stay in Uganda. But Omah Lay apparently is taking it in his stride, probably just counting it as one of his experiences, and he's just moving on really quickly. But anyways, that's Omah Lay. That's how he decided to take it. And whether or not he'll be going to Uganda, time will tell. Okay? Now, let's talk something a bit more serious. Our big story for today, that is the story about school's resumption. A date was set at first, then another day was set again, and it was like, okay, what exactly is going on? When exactly are we going to have students return to school? But then COVID-19 issues came up once again, and now the federal government is saying that from the beginning, they never actually supported the resumption of schools, that they were pressured into it by the states. And I am asking myself the question, where is that coming from now? I mean, why is that coming up at this moment in time? Where were they initially when they felt like, or when they said, when all the plans were being made, when things were being put together for schools to actually resume? All of a sudden, the federal government, through the Minister of Education, Adamu, is coming to say that they had no plans whatsoever to, let schools resume. It was not in the agreement. They never supported it. I just feel the students are the biggest losers here because they have been at home for about a year now. Most students have lost a whole academic session. People's lives have been halted unnecessarily, and they are the biggest losers here. So what happens to these students is the big question. They're still waiting in limbo, waiting for the next move that the government or ASU or whoever is going to take. Well, let's just hope that something is done about it real soon, okay? Now, away from that, now let's talk Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine lost the elections to Museveni quite, emphatically, and he called out during the elections, or just after the election results were announced, that soldiers had surrounded his house and he and his family have been placed under house arrest. He also revealed that his wife tried to go get some things from the garden and, she was halted, she was even harassed and all of that. Till now, he's still under house arrest and he's still calling out for something to be done. To make matters worse, the US ambassador to Uganda actually visited or tried to visit Bobi Wine's house, but was not allowed to go through the entire military guard that had been placed around his building. And it begs the question, what exactly is going on in Uganda and what is going to be done to stop this apparent harassment and, disregard for human rights, basically, because it's his human rights that are being violated here. What exactly is going to be done? When is something going to happen? We're waiting to see exactly what happens regarding that story. Now, away from that, let's talk Donald Trump. Today is Donald Trump's last day in office as President of the United States of America. And just yesterday, he gave about 100 or so pardons and amputations. And contrary to a lot of people's expectations that he was going to pardon himself, give himself immunity and all of that, he did not. So I guess in some way, that is some kind of good news, so to speak. So he's still open for whatever action that might follow after he leaves office. He did not pardon himself. So tomorrow's inauguration day, President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris are going to be sworn into office, and it's definitely one to look out for. Okay, I'm done with the politics now. Let's get back to entertainment and let's talk DJ Cuppy. Quite a funny story to me. DJ Cuppy is in partnership with a betting company, and in just one of those normal ways where they go to promote their brand, she was talking about the games that were to be played, and she said she had placed her bet and of course put her code and all that stuff. And people came under the comments, of course, were talking. But one guy in particular came out and said that he sold his father's house to place a bet. Why? Because he loves DJ Cuppy so much. That does not exactly balance up to me, because you place a bet, let's assume he wins the bet. He wins the money. Will he pack all the money and I'll give it back to DJ Cuppy? As per, I love DJ Cuppy, that's why I sold my father's house. Now, other people are saying it's not actually true. Maybe he was just saying that, but, well, you never know. DJ Cuppy didn't exactly respond, but people have been talking about it. Is this guy joking or is this serious? You have your father to deal with anyways. Well, let's move away from that. Now let's talk YC. YC's are here, the Jagaban, like some people call him, rapper and singer. He said something quite interesting on his Instagram, and it's something quite peculiar or particular to a particular tribe in Nigeria. And he said this year, 2021, he's going to guard his heart against or from Igbo women. I paused for a second so that one would sink in, and it gets you wondering, why is he guarding his heart against Igbo women? if you're an Igbo man, you're wondering, okay, the man has definitely suffered heartbreak from Igbo women before. So he said this time around he's guarding his heart. He's not going to let any Igbo woman, treat him bad or anything. So are you an Igbo woman? Do you think Igbo women are heartbreakers? Or what exactly? Do you agree with YC? I would like to know what you think about that one. Okay. Now, away from YC now, let's talk Sam Dot. Sam Dot is a US-based Nigerian singer, and yesterday he called out Burna Boy, and not just Burna Boy, but Burna Boy's PA named Manny. And what was the issue? Manny on his Instagram called out wizkid fans, and he said that wizkid fans are always, trolling Burna Boy, who is his boss, and he doesn't know why they're always doing that. And apart from that, he went even further in what was perhaps more annoying and more triggering to say that Ginger off Wizkid's Made in Lagos album is Wizkid's biggest jam so far, or was biggest jam of 2020. And the reason why Ginger is such a big song is because he featured Burna Boy. So that, of course, would not sit well with a lot of people. And Sam Dot did not take those words lightly at all. And he called out Burna Boy and said, why would you allow your PA, say stuff like that? That goes to show that you probably don't see Wizkid as a real friend. This is probably what you discuss with your people behind his back. And it makes no sense whatsoever for your PA to come out to say stuff like that. It means it's probably what you guys are discussing about. So musicians should learn to put people who work for them in their place. That is the message from Sam Dot. Now, Burna Boy is fond of not responding to allegations. Sometimes he just keeps quiet and everything just dies down. But whether or not he's going to respond to this one, we do not know. We're waiting to see whether he does. Okay. Quickly, before we take sports, something very interesting happened recently. A wife of the Anambra State Governor, Willie Obiano, Veronica Obiano, was spotted in the United States of America getting the COVID-19 vaccine at one of these drive-in places where they actually give people these shots. So many questions are in my head, and I am wondering, okay, first and foremost, she's not the first Nigerian. The first Nigerian the other time that we got to know went abroad to get the vaccine was Atiku. Why did she decide to make it public? Like, why do we have to know that you went out of the country to get the vaccine? And I thought the country is making plans to get the vaccine over to Nigeria. Is it that there is no trust in the system for you to decide that you want to travel out of the country to go get it? Or what exactly is the problem? And I don't think she might be the last prominent Nigerian who will be seeing or hearing of going abroad to get the vaccine. But we'll see what happens with that. Right now, we ordinary people, the common man in Nigeria is still waiting for the vaccine and what the government is going to do to get the vaccine across to everybody. Well, let's wrap it up with sports now, where in Italy, Zlatan Ibrahimovic helped his team AC Milan to a 2-0 win over Cagliari in the Italian Serie A yesterday. And it was a brace from Zlatan, 2 goals, that of course secured them that win. Now, Zlatan has been away injured for some time, and he just returned a couple of games ago. He's now on 12 league goals, level second with Romelu Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan, only behind Cristiano Ronaldo. But it is important to note that he has played less than half of the games that those guys in second place have played. Zlatan is on fire. And he was asked after the game, do you think AC Milan can actually win the league this season? And he said, I believe in me. I believe in Zlatan. Classic Zlatan Ibrahimovic for you. Finally, David Alaba of Bayern Munich has agreed terms with Real Madrid to join them in the summer on a free. So David Alaba is going to be a Real Madrid player. At the end of the season, he will be joining them on a free transfer. I don't know what I think about that one, but maybe some other time I'll gather my thoughts about it. So that is all we have on Unplug for you today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. As always, it's always a pleasure bringing you all these updates, and ensure to make it a date with us on the next episode of of Unplug, brought to you by every NG. Until next time, my name is Victor. Goodbye.